Alcohol, Korea. What do you think of when you hear these two words together? Hi everyone, this is Group 2 from KOR3600, Fall 2019, Section A. For our final presentation today, we will discuss Korean drinking culture stereotypes and use empirical evidence to explore whether these popular stereotypes are true or not in real life. This is our agenda for this presentation. We will start with a brief introduction on what are some popular stereotypes are regarding Korean drinking culture, followed by a discussion on drinking culture's history in Korea. Next, we would explain our methodology for validation and how we conducted our research. Then we would enter the main part of this presentation and present our research results for stereotype validation. There are two sections here, one for two overarching stereotypes and the other for 6 more specific stereotypes. At the end, we would conclude our findings.
There are several stereotypes among the Korean drinking culture. We have found that Koreans love drinking, and soju is the most popular spirit in South Korea. Also, fried chicken is popular with drinks. Koreans have strict drinking etiquette while drinking, and it is an important aspect of the Korean work culture. They love to play games when drinking. Sometimes they will go for 5 rounds of drinking. Koreans have unique hangover remedies such as eating ice cream or going to jjimjibang, a type of Korean sauna. Older generation enjoy drinking with their meals because they think that it is not good to drink with empty stomach. Overall, there are 8 stereotypes that we will discuss and validate in our presentation.
I will be talking about the history of the drinking culture in Korea. South Korea has a long tradition of consuming alcohol to celebrate holidays and seasonal events such as farming, Korean New Year, Daeborum, and Dano. First off, I'll be talking about farming. Drinking is often associated with the passage of seasons and related agricultural activities. Korean ancestors often drank a glass of rice wine called makgeolli with a light morning snack secham before leaving the field in the morning. Korean traditional music, nongak, will be played while they work. The Korean New Year. It is the first day of the Korean lunar calendar. It is one of the most important traditional Korean holidays. During this time, many Koreans visit their families to celebrate the New Year by wearing hanbok and eating traditional foods. They do this to commemorate their ancestors. On New Year, Korean ancestors used to consume soju to drive out diseases and evil spirits. It was a way of welcoming the new season and a fresh start to the new year. Daeborum. According to the lunar calendar, the 15th day of the new year is a traditional Korean holiday. Many people attend the national lunar event for the first full moon of the new year. On that night, Koreans drink daeborum or ear-quickening wine, so they could hear good news shortly that year. Children do not drink. They are encouraged to place their lips to the glass and the wine is poured into the chimney to prevent disease. Lastly, I'll be talking about Dano. It is the 5th day of the 5th lunar month. This is an important holiday and celebrates the transplantation of rice seedlings and the period when the yin energy is weak and the yang energy is at its strongest. The custom of Dano was to start the day with a ceremony for the ancestors and a drink mixed with a sweet flag called changpodu.
We divided our research into 2 different parts, primary and secondary. For the primary part, we had our survey that was designed to determine whether the stereotypes were true or false. Our survey includes 11 sections and we received 56 responses. Survey was taken by a diverse age group and 20 of the 56 responses were received by individuals of Korean background. We strongly believe that the survey was well organized and structured to validate the stereotypes in Korean drinking culture. For the secondary part, we utilized York University database as well as other databases such as Euromonitor for the research articles as well as for the statistics. We also use a YouTube video for the Korean work culture, and we use the in-text citations for all the resources, and they're at the bottom of each resource.
In this section, we will be examining the most common stereotypes about the Korean drinking culture. The first common stereotype we researched was that Koreans love drinking. In a 2016 survey for alcohol consumption, South Korea ranked 40th for overall alcohol consumption per capita. But we can't say that Koreans love drinking just yet from this ranking. In a 2015 survey, South Korea ranked first in distilled spirits consumption per capita. In this research study, we can tell that although Koreans' overall alcohol consumption is lacking, they definitely are fond of distilled spirits. Finally, in a 2014 survey, South Korea ranked first in shots per week, taken by an average legal individual. This is also proof that Koreans love spirits. From our research finding, I believe it is safe to say that Koreans love drinking, and distilled spirits are Koreans' favorite go-to alcoholic beverage. Which leads us to our next stereotype, which is that soju is the most popular spirit in South Korea. According to a research survey of the market share breakdown of alcoholic brands in South Korea, it is easy to find that beer brands are the most popular, while soju brands account for the second largest market share. Since beer is not a spirit, it bumps soju to be the most popular spirit. For more research information, we did a survey asking what the most popular alcoholic beverage might be, and 89.3% of respondents think soju is the most popular, though in reality, beer is actually the most popular. Thus concluding our research with the answer that yes, soju is the most popular spirit in South Korea, making this stereotype true.
Now we will move on to the validations for the 6 more specific stereotypes.
Consuming alcohol with fried chicken has been a well-known component of Korean culture that seems to become increasingly prominent in both Korea and countries worldwide. The term chimek, which is a pairing of the words chicken and 맥주, meaning beer in Korean, became widespread in the year 2010 and was popularized by the South Korean drama My Love from the Star. This combination is beloved by Koreans and people of all classes as it is cheap and delicious when paired together. In March 2018, the Chinese cosmetics firm Aolan International Beauty Group flew out 4,500 of their employees to Incheon, South Korea, just to enjoy Korean fried chicken and beer around 750 tables for a company vacation. To further prove the popularity of eating fried chicken with alcohol, a study showed that fried chicken was actually ranked 6th in the most common foods consumed with alcohol in South Korea in the year 2017 as well as 2018. Survey results showed that half of the participants usually accompany chicken with alcohol and noticed the presence of soju and soju advertisements in Korean fried chicken restaurants. Most importantly, almost 90% of survey responders believe that the combination of chicken with drinking is a significant part of Korean social culture. Although chicken can be enjoyed without alcoholic beverages, it is a common anju, also known as food consumed with alcohol, in most Korean bars and restaurants and has become the national dish, pastime, and significant component of Korean culture. A stereotype that is evident in Korean drinking culture is the drinking etiquette that follows with it. South Korea's drinking culture reveals much about its social structure, lifestyle, and traditions, as seniority and hierarchy are important aspects of the society. In Korea, when one has become of age to drink, they are taught rules on how to drink and how to pour drinks when consuming alcohol with others by their elders. Koreans have strict rules of etiquette when it comes to drinking alcoholic beverages that have continued on today. For example, it is custom behavior to receive a drink with 2 hands while bowing the head slightly when accepting a drink from an elder. It is also customary to turn away from the elder when drinking together. These are only a few of the rules that must be followed in Korean drinking tradition. According to our survey, the majority of responders believe that drinking etiquette is important today and occasionally practice these manners in social settings.
As seen in various media elements, drinking appears to be a very important part of the work culture in Korea. The word hwaeshik is likely very familiar to those who are accustomed to work culture in Korea, or those who have watched Korean dramas. Whether it be through the scenes of team dinners and karaoke sessions after work filled with soju, beer, and makgeolli, or through other scenes showing the cooking of meat and pouring of alcohol for supervisors, the stereotype of drinking being an important part of work culture is prominent. According to a journal titled Korea's Drinking Culture, when an organizational socialization tool threatens workplace well-being, Hueshiks show how drinking plays an important part in workplace socialization. It is said to be one of the most important forms of socialization in Korean organizations. Furthermore, during these drinking sessions, employees encourage each other to consume alcohol as they share ideas and build social networks. A study shown in 2002 revealed 47.1% of the participants responding that they drank for socializing with coworkers and colleagues. Another study revealed that more than 55% of participants felt obligated to drink in the daytime because of work. In the survey we conducted, 42.9% of participants responded that they think that drinking is an important part of Korean work culture. When asked in what ways they think employees are pressured to drink in Korea, we received a variety of different answers. Ones that stood out the most include the need to drink with potential clients in order to please and entertain them. And another common response was that superiors pressure subordinate employees to attend corporate dinners and drink. It is considered disrespectful to decline given by someone older or of higher ranking than you. Another survey questionnaire that resulted in interesting responses was what stereotypes of drinking in Korean work culture are false. Some answers received include getting employees drunk during dinner. This stereotype, being false, contradicts the image that Korean dramas have often portrayed of Hwashiks. Another answer we received was that Koreans are not particularly tolerant drinkers. The average male in Korea can drink around 1 to 1.5 bottles of soju, while a female can drink around half a bottle. Overall, this stereotype has proven to be true. Another common stereotype associated with drinking culture in Korea is that Koreans love to play games when they drink. This is often exhibited in Korean dramas, Korean variety shows, and in Korean film. The results of our survey were interesting, as part of our claims and assumptions on the stereotype turned out to be false. From a range of 0 to 5, where 0 meant that Koreans don't play games when they drink, and 5 meaning that Koreans love playing games when they drink, the majority of participants voted for. Participants of our survey provided a substantial list of games that they have played while drinking with Korean people. Some of these games include 369, Baskin-Robbins 31, 007 Bang, and Frying Pan. 369, or Samyukgu, was one of the most popular answers. This game involves going around in a circle where everyone takes turns counting starting at 1. For each number that contains a 3, 6, or 9, the person must clap. The one who ends up saying 3, 6, or 9 instead of clapping has to drink. Another popular answer among the survey results was Baskin-Robbins 31. This is another Korean drinking game that involves numbers. Players take turns saying up to 3 numbers starting at 1. The player can choose whether to say 1, 2, or 3 numbers, and the player who lands on the number 31 has to drink. The last question our survey asked in regards to this stereotype was how often do you play drinking games when you drink with other Korean people? Unlike what we expected, almost 50% of participants responded that they never played games when they drink. Therefore, although many participants also believed in the stereotype that Koreans love to play games when they drink, it turns out that in reality they do not.
Now for the fifth specific stereotype, Koreans have unique hangover remedies. As the striking statistics tell us, we should all know that South Korea is well known for its drinking culture, and rightfully so. But of course with drinking comes an inevitable aftermath, the hangover. One may be surprised to know that, similarly to the largely profitable drinking business in Korea, the hangover business also generates millions of dollars in sales. So what's exactly the hangover business all about in Korea? Well, South Korea is known for its unique hangover remedies. In the following slides, we'll explore 4 main ones. First, we have haejangguk, or a Korean hangover soup. It's an ancient technique to get rid of hangovers, and the word translates to a soup for people to get sober from. There is a variety of haejangguk in Korea, but all of them consist of the similar ingredients. Next, we have hangover recovery drinks like Dan 808 and Hotge Condition, which are mostly found in convenience stores. They're considered a magic potion by Koreans because the aftermath effect is really fast. Third, we have ice cream, and Gyeongdae bar is actually Korea's first hangover ice cream, and the name means to hang in there. It's very inexpensive and accessible. Lastly, we have jjimjilbangs, or Korean saunas, sauna rooms. So Koreans frequently drink and party until the next day. Naturally, these 24-hour facilities are popular, with steam rooms, hot tub saunas, and sleeping rooms. It's helpful for people to sweat off and sleep off the alcohol consumption from the day before. Next, we have the survey results. The survey results asked a series of questions, and the results came out as the following. So firstly, the survey results tell us that most people have heard of or used one of Korea's hangover cures. Next, it tells us that approximately a quarter of the population would not actually use any of the hangover remedies. However, the majority still answered yes, that they would use the hangover remedies. Lastly, the survey results tell us that most people chose 3 or higher on the scale, which means that most of the population think that Korean hangover remedies are indeed unique. In conclusion, although most people are familiar with Korea's hangover remedies, most still view them as unique. Results also show that a significant amount, around a quarter of the population, would not actually use them. Now for the 6th specific stereotype, older generations enjoy drinking with their meals. Now this is the stereotype that I, as a person growing up in Korean culture, found very interesting. Of course, having a beer or wine while catching a late dinner with friends is not a foreign concept at all here in Canada. However, in Korea, for older generations, drinking alcohol along with a meal is a slightly different concept. For older generations, alcohol can be perceived more as an appetizer, and there's a strong cultural partnership between alcohol and food. Panju, or meal alcohol, is when people drink along with their regular meals. So this can include breakfast or dinner times at home or outdoors. Some may be familiar with the term anju, but anju and panju are actually not the same thing. When referencing anju, alcohol is the main protagonist. The dishes are to complement the alcohol. However, with panju, the liquor is being consumed with an entire meal. Now let's talk about the reasons behind the stereotype. Firstly, it's a means to increase appetite. And secondly, it's tradition that comes with getting older. Older generations have a mindset of it being the way to eat now, and just how life is now that one has aged and has gotten older. Next, for the survey results. We asked the population to give us some reasons behind why this stereotype may exist. The most popular answer given was that alcohol is complementary to the food, and older generations may like it because it helps the food taste better. Only 3.77% said it was to increase appetite, and 15.09% said it was because of tradition. And these are the 2 real answers why. Next, we asked how familiar the population was with the stereotype, and the survey results told us that most people were in fact familiar or have heard of this stereotype before. In conclusion, our survey results show that although people are familiar with this particular stereotype, the majority is unaware of the true reasons behind why older generations drink alcohol along with their regular meals.
So let's conclude our findings here. Which stereotypes are true? For the 2 common stereotypes, both of them are true. Koreans do love drinking, and in fact, they drink more spirits than any other population in the world. Also, soju is confirmed to be the most popular spirit and second most popular alcoholic drink in South Korea, with beer being the most popular one. Moving on to the specific stereotypes again, most of them are true. In Korea, fried chicken is one of the most popular foods with drinks. There are very strict drinking etiquette, and drinking is indeed an important aspect of the Korean work culture. However, some more extreme stereotypes such as forcing lightweight employees to drink is not true in reality. The only false stereotype we have in our research list is that Koreans love to play games when drinking. Well, most people believe Koreans love drinking games, but in reality, Koreans don't play as often as believed in real life. On the other hand, the claim that Koreans have unique hangover remedies is true, and according to our survey, most people have tried at least one of them. Therefore, our research shows that most of the stereotypes on Korean drinking culture are true. Do you feel surprised, or is it as expected? Feel free to let us know, and thank you for your time.